Is a little too on the nose to say that that was a fire episode. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Mighty Nein. We're now on episode 6, which is called Little Spark. So in the last episode, our group kind of formed. It was definitely not planned and a little bit chaotic, but we managed to take down the Devil Toad. We weren't able to save the life of the little girl, unfortunately, but the team realized that they all actually kind of work well together when under pressure, and now they all kind of have this mutual situation of figuring out kind of what's going on. There's a larger picture of things going on with this war effort that's happening. And we ended the episode because the spy, or the the Volstrucker, who we've seen so far interact with Bo, we just discovered last episode that she was the apprentice of Caleb and has been looking for Caleb as well. So yeah, now she's happened to stumble upon both. Looks like she's ready to jump into a fight right away. We'll have to see what goes down. I'm ready to jump in. So let's do that. Just before I do though, please do hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and do leave comments. I really appreciate it so much. Critters, you guys have been awesome. I really do appreciate you. All right, that out of the way. Let's get into the episode right now.
Let me tell you a story.
Oh, we're getting Caleb backstory. Finally. Oh, that's the cat he summoned, I think.
Ich werde ihn holen, bevor euer vorzüglicher Haberbrei kalt wird.
It's the same voice though. But he goes by Caleb now?
Danke, kleiner Funke.
Oh, you were Little Spark.
Nix für ungut, Kleine, aber ich denke nicht, dass du's besser kannst.
Keep your mouth shut. That's quite the mix. Oh, it's like alchemy.
Zauberei.
Is it?
Nein.
It's like alchemy.
Das ist eine
Who's this exactly? Is this bastard Trent?
Königreich so weit hier draußen?
That's right, son behind you. Knew it! Back off, whore!
I presume this is your work.
No idea what you're talking about.
I am a professor at the
The
Solstice.
Solstice Academy.
Oh, that was your problem.
Apologies, my lord.
This is why you should never meet your heroes.
Dieser Umwandlungszauber erzeugt von Vervollkommnung in
How did
hohem
you
Maß.
find out about him from your fancy city? And you sat with his family.
Arkanfeuer brennt heißer als natürliche Flammen. Oft zu beschwören, das ist vorbildlich brennen.
Es war nur in einem Buch, mein Herr.
That's technically instruction.
Ich glaube, du wirst an der Solstice-Akademie großen Erfolg haben.
Oh, bless him.
Jedoch werde ich hier gebraucht.
Period. He should have done that.
Wir würden Bren nie vom Dienste des Königreichs zurückhalten
Oh,
wollen.
Mom, it's your fault. He probably would have ran away and done it anyway. Yeah, see, your cat knew what was up.
Nein! Entschuldigen Sie,
You
mein
should
Herr.
have listened to your
Hat das
cat.
noch nie zuvor getan.
Exactly. Oh, crap. He can heal himself. That's a problem. Good to know, though.
Alles besser.
Their faces. Okay, Satan.
Betrachte dies als deine Zulassungsprüfung. Brennen heißt Feuer.
Really?
Dann lass uns sehen, ob du deinem Namen gerecht
You want me
wirst.
to burn this house down, sir? Did you not see what I did to the stove? All right, see, that was God also stopping you. 2 warnings now, the cat and God.
Willkommen zur Solstice Akademie.
Your name has nothing to do with
Deines
Caleb.
Lebens.
I get why he didn't use his real name, though, but still. Oh, he has such a beautiful... Why do I feel like this is the last time you ever saw your face? We did see the flashback. Oh, my God. This bastard burned their house down, didn't he?
Am Eye Street. The
Mm-hmm.
big lank is Ed Wolf.
Devil, Satan.
What's your name?
So he trained them all to be Volstrucker, and something tells me Bren ran away, as he should have.
You're a long way from home.
I get it. Prediction. It was, so Bren was brought in as an apprentice. Trent trained him to be a Volstrucker. Once he realized what Trent wanted him to do, or maybe he already did to an extent, he tried to run, and Trent paid him back by burning his family to pieces. And he's been on the run ever since.
Why do people keep trying to kill us in this goddamn
Right?
This fucker's been following me for weeks.
If we're gonna do this, we need a plan.
Louis? You and your freaking poison.
Wow, that is actually...
She's like, let me take a minute to appreciate, but oh my God!
The poison's not reacting to my magic.
That's okay. Something tells me Mr. Under the Sea has got it. But I'm not worried. Homie's already died once. I'm pretty sure whatever's under the sea can heal him of whatever that is. Okay, that's helpful. Agility and reflexes? Okay, Bo. Oh, disgusting. So that's why bugs are your shit. Bo's like, I owed you that. And that's where the Tai Chi comes in.
The bug's gone?
Right? I'm with her. Sometimes it's just gross.
But perhaps we should get the fuck out of town.
Yeah.
What about Goth Girl?
You should slit her throat, honestly.
Load up.
Caleb? Well done. He knows what to do.
Fuck, man, we need
No,
her
we
alive.
really don't. She's gonna destroy it.
Nun kannst du dich nicht mehr verbergen.
I see. So that was what was keeping them from tracking him.
Your task is a simple one. Come, join me here.
Nope.
The first 3 students who do, pass. The rest, fail.
Just step back. And that's why you wait. She dead? It's very elemental at the moment.
Nice.
I see. He wanted the people who were horrible that would sacrifice others. Got it.
Off king, brother.
Exactly. Right back at you, bitch.
Distract, confound, protect yourself. You gave us the solution right at the start.
In the service of our empire, you will be faced with choices that seem questionable.
They are no, not even seem okay. He's like, I am teaching you to put away your morality. And we already know that some of them are predisposed.
I have a special task for you 3.
Does it have anything to do with murder or some type of strange proclivity you probably have?
Should we at least wrap her wounds?
No.
Food at, no.
I'll be fine after a good night's sleep.
Walk it off.
I also find it quite interesting that this woman has been tracking you. Yeah.
Not that it's your business.
I mean, since we're sharing.
The Kreen and Empire are always trying to kill each other.
That's true.
Don't you feel it? War's brewing.
You can feel that?
Symbolically, but yes.
She is too dangerous to let live.
Listen to Caleb.
You're suggesting we execute her?
I mean, if she falls off of a cliff.
Our traveling troop has reached its destination.
You could have just said we're here.
Right? But where's the flare?
But I should at least be there in case you need backup with...
Brother, how about you just work on healing?
Looking much greener than usual.
Right? How's that possible? Really? You couldn't have helped her out with that even a little? I'm kind of with him though. It's like, I don't really know you like that to be like lifting you and doing all this heavy physical work.
You have a gift for toxins and the like. You can help.
She does?
I'm watching you, undercut.
Aw. They're sensitive to each other now. They kind of know when the other's off, when something's going on. Love it.
E-I-E. Oh, get out of the way.
She's like, I've had enough of this.
We need enough to brew a tea or the corruption will spread and he'll... D-I-E?
She catches on quick.
I know I can spell, right?
I didn't actually.
Well, we know nothing about you.
I didn't mean...
Good reflexes.
I don't know what she's chasing you.
Well, he's handsome when he's not retching.
3 days
3 days till what?
Till they come for her.
to break them without lifting a finger.
Those bugs have left 10 minutes ago. We don't have 3 days, so we'll start with burning skin now. Damn, Trent really did rub off on you, huh?
Questions, or you will regret what comes next.
See those dead eyes? You did that to him.
Guys, relax. I bet we're gonna get promoted.
Relax!
You think?
Look at us.
Are you the one that died?
You first, little spark.
You don't get to call me that. So this is the lesson on how to withstand torture?
Tis only a chair.
No, that isn't. Where are the straps for?
Do you know why I plucked you out of the Semni fields, Brent?
Because you're a sadistic bastard. Next question.
Join the Cerberus assembly.
Not quite.
Are you okay with this man strapping you into a torture chair? What?
Who exists only to serve the Empire. Just as you've always wanted, yes?
No. Wow. No survival skills.
You are the rising star, Bren.
I mean, he wasn't wrong about that. He's got the best deduction skills out of the three. Oh, he's putting them in him. That's why he strapped him down. 3?
Accept the pain.
No.
Endure it.
You didn't ask his consent. Not that he would have cared.
Needs you to be strong.
Who's your father? Are you talking about yourself?
Okay, I think she gets it.
No, you really don't get it.
These people only tell the truth when their body has no other choice.
Exactly. Maybe you should listen to Caleb.
So it's just a fucking coincidence this chick speaks Simnian too? Or is there something more to it?
Is this the time, Bo? Okay, Bo. When she gets away. But I guess Bo's got to go through her own process. I wouldn't just trust these people either, to be fair.
Oh, the traveler, he's always there.
Really?
He's just not always here.
Hmm.
The traveler must have sent forward so I can have a friend when he's busy.
Sure, that's where he was going with that.
Can you use your special vision to find more? Like with that
Well, that's
ugly
true.
ghost frog? Or do you need...
That's a great question.
That's never happened before.
So mysterious.
The way she rose up.
What happens if you drink blood?
Let's not go there.
You know, I'm not too keen to
Yeah,
find
that
out.
sounds disgusting. Tasting it's enough.
Oh yeah, is that why you carry those fancy cards? To peer into your future?
An inebriated goblin, a half-orc midshipman.
Captain?
Right.
Midshipman.
I don't need the cards to tell me that adventure lays before us.
No, she's true. Everything he said was true. Tick, tick, tick.
Who'd do best to leave a one-sided relationship with an invisible god.
Oh,
Yeah.
clocked.
Wait, are you talking about
There you go. You caught up, sweetie. I do think maybe she'd be more powerful if she kind of let go of the whole whimsical thing, but I kind of like that about her, so.
What are you doing?
Wiping
I'm
all this
trying to keep
water
you
off of
cool
you.
so the fever doesn't cook your brain.
You know about poison.
She's also a
I knew an
goblin?
alchemist once. He
Oh.
taught me a few things.
Oh, I want to know more. Your reflexes didn't get you that time. Sorry. Hopefully your mouth wasn't open.
I was weak. I failed.
There's the fever talk.
It's okay. No, you didn't fail.
Aw.
You're there, honey. It's okay.
Not's actually a big, fat, tender heart. No wonder she drinks so much. I feel like she's been taken advantage of and hurt a lot because of her caring nature, unfortunately, and that's why she's like this, but we'll find out.
You may not trust me, Beauregard, but we cannot do this here.
Right?
Cool, we're doing it here.
All right.
Nein!
Then who the fuck are you?
Sag es ihr ruhig. Du bist immer noch Vollstrucker.
Do you know that word?
Now that I understood.
But that's okay.
It really isn't.
You will not have to endure it alone.
It's weird.
Master Ikathon calls.
Trio. I don't know what you call this. The pain brigade, pain puppets.
It's
You know-
frightening, but it's
It's
beautiful.
not beautiful. It's hideous. It's a sign of torture. You know, his scars kind of look a bit like the eyes on Molly.
We will be together.
Okay, these two are definitely a throuple. What is going on here? Freaks! Shouldn't they be angrier at him then?
Maybe save the flirting for after the mission. Where's the target?
Oh, that's where he got that from.
I will let you dip me later.
Ooh. In second thought, maybe he and Molly are gonna get along a lot better than I thought. They both seem to have the same type of extracurriculars. Y'all are always about hurting people who don't need to be hurt. That was so extra. But you know what? If I had magic, I'd probably do the same thing.
Only Cobalt Soul allowed.
Oh, y'all love violating Cobalt. Oh, he lied about never being to a Cobalt Soul library. You are a murdering murderer who murdered Bren. Damn. That's why you don't want to talk to Bo about this, huh? Fair. I mean, I'm not, she's really married to the whole monk thing, but damn, that was close.
That was a warning. You must be brave or stupid to break into this soul.
A little both. That's pretty damn. Bren, you have a dark streak. I'm not surprised. So what exactly was the point where you realized what you were doing was wrong?
Töte sie, dann komm nach Hause. Vater liebt dich immer noch.
Ew.
Nein. Nein.
Well, what do you have to say?
We're about to die because you got distracted. Yeah, you dumbass. But I know Bo had to go through her own thing.
The prisoner's free. I'm
Great.
sure that's totally on purpose.
Get her ass!
No, you go get her ass because he warned you and you didn't listen.
You wanted to know me.
Uh-oh.
This is who I am.
Or were. So did they just pull the crystals out of his arm? Is that what he meant when he said the power was taken from him? I've got questions about whether or not he can still do all those spells without the crystals in his hand.
A shame about your village. The Zemni fields are now being used as a rebel base to spread lies against the king.
Really?
We should drag them out of their hovels in the dead of night.
Oh, look how quick. He wants to make sure he has nothing to go back to.
The greatest fear of the Zemni people is losing their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
I would raze their farms to the ground.
Oh, look at you giving him the ideas.
I am happy to hear you say that.
You know, starting
Because
to
you
hear
have a
that
new
feel like it's
mission.
not so bad that he smelled like shit since the beginning of the season.
You may recognize some names on the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just his way of making sure that you had no one to turn to but him. I don't know whether or not being with him is a good idea right now.
Where's Caleb?
Sounds great. He's dead. That's what you heard?
In a well?
Timmy! Is Timmy trapped in the well?
Room trap to stop you so he could follow the poison lady alone.
There you go. The guessing game was so much more fun.
You probably have 10 minutes. I don't know. I'll go get
He's like, I have no idea. Look at that. Not as a multitasker.
I never betrayed him.
Yeah, but you're a loser. You're a one-trick pony, huh? It's a good trick. That's probably why he wants Caleb back. Or maybe because he's upset that his control didn't work. Or got broken, I should say. It did work. Not respectfully, I really think you should let Caleb finish whatever he's about to do to this girl. She deserves it. Yeah. Did you actually willingly do this, bro? Oh, well, you know what, Bren? Not mad about that. This, though, Bren, oof. How do you even atone for killing your own parents? Yeah, you know what? That's not gonna undo what you did. This hoe deserves it, but you do too, kinda. Okay, well,
My boy.
he said he couldn't do his magic anymore. Looks like a lie.
Endure it.
Wow, daddy's lessons, huh? This is actually chilling the way they decided to animate this. Well, Jesus, even if she hadn't sent that note, you just left a giant beacon to where you are. Okay, well, there's nothing left of that, hoe. But your guilt still remains. Yeah, that probably took a lot out of you. When's the last time you used that much magic, friend?
You'll be okay. I'm here.
Aw, Not's always trying to keep people alive. Oh, you didn't need to question her, did you? Again! About right, someone did die.
We've got questions. You made it to a new day, and each new day is a new
That was a great
opportunity to be
switch up.
someone-
You're kind of in trouble, but hey, you didn't die.
Who would you like to be today?
That's true. You clearly don't want to die. You don't want to go back, so forward's the only way. Drink it up.
This shit tastes like shit.
Num num.
If he keeps making you clean up his messes.
Caleb doesn't make me
That's
do
about to say he didn't even ask her to come along.
But I am the parent.
That's true.
You do understand that, correct?
Mm.
So he can get better and stronger and achieve great things.
Clocked.
It's my job to protect him.
There's a little projection in this speech.
And he'll be a great man someday.
Does he know all that?
Doesn't need to. That protective instinct. Hi, everyone. Everyone have a good rest. I didn't mean to set her on fire. It was an accident.
You owe us some words, trash wizard.
I thought Shitbird was coming. That felt a little on the nose, though. Okay, so The smile on Molly Mock's face.
Let me tell you a story.
That's how we started the episode. Gotcha. Well, well, well. Is it a little too on the nose to say that that was a fire episode? Stop judging me. I'm sorry. Okay, guys. Well, that was a hell of a backstory. That was definitely a very vivid and visceral deep dive into Caleb/Bren's backstory. And a lot of why he looks the way he does now makes a lot more sense. It was kind of hard to tell. Like, I had a lot of ideas about why he was the way he was looking at him. You know, the framing for murder, I'm still not 100% certain what that's for. I don't know if it's for his family. I don't think that's the case. But coming back, his appearance since we first met him was very much giving Lost. It was giving a walking corpse. Somebody was withering away, and not necessarily because he doesn't have access to food or things like that, but more that he was letting himself wither away. And the way he would talk about himself once he met Nott, the desperation that he felt when he conjured things, even around the necklace, the things that he carried with him, it all gave that this man is just on his last legs in multiple ways. And it's starting to make sense why, right? And I think that what makes Bren an interesting character is that there is, I think, this desire to atone and to do better and to change, but there's also a part of him that is very dark that I don't know that he's 100% figured out how to deal with, if that makes sense. And so I said this, I think, last episode, that he was giving me a little bit of Percy vibes, which, considering he's voiced by the same actor, I'm pretty sure is interesting, but more in the sense of like having this darkness to him that, that he's trying to balance out with this other side of himself, So we saw from the history, Bren is smart, right? Always had a very good head on his shoulders, despite growing up in more humbler beginnings, growing up in a more, farmer labor type of household, blue collar for lack of a better term, but being very smart, very astute, effectively doing alchemy and magic with no formal training. Books were all that he had, but he was able to figure out quite a bit with raw talent. And I think what drew Trent to him was the fact that he doesn't think as straightforwardly as other people do. Like, I think that, a lot of people could probably pick up magic and do it well, but I think a lot of them kind of like, it's like, okay, if A plus B equals C, that's the way I do my spell. If I got to do this and this and this to do this spell, that's what I do. There's no real creativity. There's no real thinking and shifting and kind of figuring things out on the spot with a lot of the other people that he worked with. And he didn't want that. Trent wanted someone, or a group of someone's, who could be creative with their magical abilities, and not necessarily in a good way, unfortunately. And so when he went and he found Bren was what he was looking for, not only just raw talent, because I feel like all the kids that he brought to his little academy had raw talent to an extent, but it was Bren's brain he was after. Bren, I think, has the type of deductive, scientific, and also, shall we say, non-linear thinking that Trent really values. And it's not the kind of thing you come by very often and very easily. And so seeing that he came there, he, as we've already seen in the last couple of episodes, Trent's very good at emotionally manipulating people. He knows how to find something that they care about and twist it into something that looks like it aligns with what he's trying to give them, when really it's all about what he wants, right? And so we saw him do that initially with Essek, and Essek found out too late that that's what happened to him. And then the same thing with Bren. With Bren, I'll give him extra points though, because I don't know how old Essek is, but Bren is young at the time that Trent entered his life, right? It looks like he was a teenager, maybe 16, 17 years old. Point being, way too young and inexperienced in the world to even begin to understand the levels of manipulation that Trent was capable of. And of course, Trent played his whole family, right? Like, he's got the chance. Like, we're going to bring him to the Capitol. He's going to get this esteemed position. He'll be making money. He'll help you guys out. He'll make everybody, it's going to make everybody happier. It's for the best. And of course, what parent doesn't want their child to go where they excel, right? What parent doesn't want their child to be the best version of whatever it is that they've got a talent for? And so especially since it looked like they were a little scared that maybe his abilities might actually have been a problem or something that gets him into trouble, of course they were more than happy to hear that maybe, just maybe, what he's capable of doing would be for the betterment of everyone. So even though Caleb kind of was refusing at first, and again, I think a little of that was out of humility, but he didn't really, he really didn't want to go, right? I feel like if his parents had given him a hard no, he would have snuck out. And if his parents had been like guilted him, he still would have stayed, but more because he would have felt a sense of responsibility, but he would have always wanted to go, if that made sense. And so either way, he was going to go, right? He was going to learn. And I don't think it was necessarily a bad thing that he wanted to go and learn how to properly use this power, because as we saw, he almost blew up his house once trying to play with mage fire. But all that to say that, when you see the layers of manipulation to get him there, and I do believe that for the most part at its core, Bren's curiosity and love for magic was from a good place, but there was clearly already something darker in him, right? Because we see with that first test we were exposed to that Trent put the students through, all the ones that were kind of earnest and had a bit of hubris, they just ran out without thinking. Whereas smartly, Bren stood back, waited, saw what the situation was, and he immediately understood that the game or the test was about basically being devious, using whatever means possible, right? The whole ends justifies the means mentality. He figured that out very quickly. Now, it didn't look like he wanted to do it, in fairness. It didn't look like he wanted to purposefully trap or hurt anybody to get to the end. But as soon as what's her name came, the girl who ended up getting flambéed here, as soon as she pulled a little trick on him, the retribution was swift, right? Put a spell on her, jumped on her head, and basically mocked her when he got to the end, right? So it's kind of like, ooh, Caleb, right? So I don't know, we didn't see all of his backstory. I'm not sure if that came from a place of him wanting to fit in with these higher ups, or if it was just something that was already brewing. But the point is, there was already a bit of a dark, it's interesting they call him Little Spark. There was a dark spark there as well in Bren from a very young age. But I think that maybe being around his family and the lifestyle that he had probably tempered a lot of that when he was growing up. But under the right cultivation, under the right overlord, we see that Trent saw that from that game, and those three that won, he realized these are the people who already have a predisposition towards being morally flexible. And that's what he was looking for. He didn't want anybody who was going to be righteous and just. He wanted somebody he could mold into being someone who would do whatever he asked them to do, no matter how dark, no matter how twisted, right? And he already knew, right? Because that lets me know that Trent is absolutely aware of the fact of how messed up he is. But coming back, so we see that as he continued to train, Trent decided when, these three are the ones that are the most fungible for what I need, took them in there and gave them the crystals, right? And again, I still have an outstanding question, because it looks like there is an innate ability to do magic that Bren's always had, and that obviously the materials help him to do certain spells, but he's also able to do other spells on his own, like the fire looks like something he's always been able to do. And again, I don't know, I guess it's a mix of having to use materials versus actually just doing spells and verbal. And I think someone in my comments said it's kind of a mix of all kinds of things in this world, but it looks like Bren has an ability to do all of it. But when he said that, the ability to do magic was taken from him, I believe the crystals were removed, right? Because he's got a lot of scars on his arm. I mean, it looks like that could have been the case anyways, but as far as the crystals, once they healed up, but I think they were pulled from him. I think that that's probably what ended up happening, whether it was Trent removing them as a punishment, or if he removed them himself, I don't know. But my guess is that his magic ability was probably on 11 with those crystals, and now it's kind of back to what he had before, but maybe not. Maybe that was never weak. Let's put it that way. So anyways, we see that, how the Volstrucker transformation happened with him, and the fact that he had a very, as I said, entangled relationship with the other two. And so that kind of showed the levels of kind of mental stripping down and building up that Trent did with all three of these kids, right? He made them feel like it was them against the world. He fed their minds with the idea that what they were doing was for the betterment of the country, the betterment of the government, that they were these elite kind of, shadow soldiers of justice that no one really knew about. And that even though they had to do things that were a little bit unscrupulous from time to time, it was for the greater good, right? And that, between that belief system being poured into their head, that propaganda, and then their isolation from everything, of course, them developing this slightly unnatural attachment to each other, he really just kind of created this, this cult, if anything else, that just did whatever he said and were super self-reliant and almost dependent on each other. That's what he wanted, right? Dependent on him ultimately, but also ultra dependent on each other. And then we see that inevitably the day came that he gave him the assignment to go and implement the very idea he came up with of burning these people alive to send a message. And of course, his parents were named amongst the people that needed to be executed. And I mean, there might have been another ultimate goal to why Trent wanted this, but my belief system was that he knew that despite everything, Brent still had a significant connection to his family and his parents, and he wanted to make sure that these is his precious little cult that he'd cultivated over the years. He wanted to make sure that they had nowhere to go back to and nothing to go back to. And also, that was the ultimate test of, can I get you to do anything? No matter how vile, wrong, twisted, disgusting, completely devoid of humanity it might be, can I get you to do it? And he proved with that exercise that he could get Bren to do it. I do think the other two would have done it as well, but this was about Bren. So, and I think it was like, I don't even think Bren recognized how deeply he'd been brainwashed until he was standing there watching the flames, listening to his family scream for mercy inside. Somewhere in there, those screams finally pierced through all of that. I'll call it like a veil of propaganda that had been over his eyes and ears for God knows how long. And that happens, right? When people are taken in by a manipulator, when they're molded, when they're groomed into a cult-like experience like these kids are, it is like someone puts blinders on and earmuffs on, and they really can't see or hear anything properly outside of what they're told. And it's literally, and I love the way they kind of showed it, that like he wasn't really hearing the screams at first until it started to really cut through all of that nonsense that Trent had beaten into him over the years. And then once it hit him, of course, it really hit him that, oh my God, what did I just do? Like, what did I really just do? That's not who I am. And so anyway, very interesting to see that dark evolution. And, as much as I want to blame a lot of this on Trent, and I do still, it wouldn't have been possible if there hadn't been that dark spark, we'll call it, in Little Spark, of that darker side, that lust for power, that lust for using his magic to do whatever it is he wanted to do, right? Like, if that had not already been there would have been nothing that Trent could have done to make him do it. And so anyway, it just sucks that, he allowed himself to succumb to that darker nature and succumb to all those things that Trent played him with. And we don't know the end of the story as far as like what happened between that and here, because Caleb looks significantly older than what we see in this flashback. Like, how many years has it been, right? It feels like it's been a minute. So I don't know that, like, I don't feel like Caleb left the second that fire went out. Like, I think there was probably still a period of when he was with this group before he finally made his escape. He probably also knew he couldn't just up and leave at that point. But yeah, it'll be interesting to find out if that was in fact his breaking point, or if it was just, like I said, the wake-up call that he needed to know that he had to find a way out. And then what did he have to do? What did he have to sacrifice to get out, right? And so anyways, that was just, like I said, it was dark. It was very interesting, sad in one way, but it just helps us to understand a lot more of where Bren/Caleb is coming from and why he's effectively kind of running from who he was, right? I don't think he wants to face what he did and how dark it was, but I think now he's going to actually be a lot better, because now that he's going to tell this story in its entirety to these people who are they're strangers to him still effectively, but a lot of people say it's easier to confess your sins to strangers than it is to people you care about, right? So anyways, I do think it's going to help Caleb feel a lot lighter when he does offload all of this, and I do think he's expecting that they're going to reject him and call him all kinds of demons and names and all the things he's probably called himself at this point, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to go as badly as he thought. But it'll be interesting to see how the group reacts to it anyway. I definitely think he's going to have a few people who are going to be a bit slow to trust him after this, but it takes a lot of vulnerability to open up and talk about all this anyway. So, but yeah, very interesting backstory on Caleb. I do believe, I really love the what Molly Mock said to him when he woke up about, we got a lot of questions. There's some stuff that's definitely not okay, but you made it to another day. It's a chance to start over. Every day that starts is a new day to start something different. Who do you want to be going forward, right? Kind of, giving him the reminder of why he's still here, right? Because quite frankly, after everything he did, if he really felt that bad, Caleb could have ended it for himself, but he clearly, there's something in him that's making him hold on and keep going. And from what I feel like I'm getting from him, I do feel like he wants to do some level of atonement for not only just what he did to his family, but probably other things that he did. Like we saw what he did at the Monks Academy, right? He took out how many of those people just with no feeling, no remorse at that time, right? So anyway, that was cool. And that all was kind of sparked from the capture of the Volstrucker that had been stalking both him, but mostly at that time, Bo. Bo was trying to get answers, but once again, we've been hearing since episode 1 that Bo working on her own, refusing to ask for help, refusing to rely on others and listen to them. This is kind of the reason why this girl almost got away, right? Like, my man was begging her. Right? Caleb was begging her, like, listen to me. I know you got questions, but right now what she's doing is a tactic, and I'm telling you it's a tactic. Let's just stay on task. And Bo, just being bullheaded and wanting to do things her way, didn't listen. And of course, it resulted in Homie getting away. Now, of course, Caleb got, she couldn't go far because she was injured, but still, point being, Bo's got to learn how to just take a step back and realize she doesn't always know the right way to go and that she has to listen to people sometimes. And even though her boss from episode 1 turned out to be super corrupt, he wasn't wrong about identifying the fact that Bo has a hard time listening to people and always thinks she knows what's right, which is not always the case. But we'll get to Bo's issue in another episode, I'm sure. But anyways, we see that the Volstrucker that they captured was basically, we saw her from the flashback. She's never liked Caleb. She's always been jealous of the fact that he had more natural ability than her, and also the fact that he was, as we've discovered, Trent's favorite. But anyways, she basically let us know that it is in fact Trent that is looking for him. Trent wants him back or wants him to come home. Again, the jury's out about what that's about. I don't think it's a loving thing whatsoever. I don't think it's a mentor-mentee thing. I think it's three things now that I think about it. One, the narcissist in Trent can't stand the fact that this prized pupil he was honing and grooming to perfection slipped out of his fingers. I'd say one is that Trent's ego won't allow him to accept the fact that this star pupil that he's been grooming and shaping for so long slipped out of his fingers. Two, Caleb knows a lot. Way too much about the Volstruckers. I mean, again, I don't think anyone would ever believe him. Like, at this point, I think Trent made enough preparations to ensure that if any of them ever escaped or got out, that no one would believe anything that they said. But still, that's a lot of knowledge that kid has that you don't want getting out if you can help it. And three, as I mentioned before, the fact that Bren/Caleb is a non-linear, very smart, creative mind who thinks about things in ways that other people don't. I think he wants that mind back to figure out what the hell he's going to do with this beacon. Again, he didn't have the beacon until recently, but you get my point. I feel like he still wants Caleb's mind back because that was a very valuable asset to him. And he listened to him, right? He would take his ideas to heart. So anyway, now we know that that's the case. And we know as she was burning away, she said, look, he's not going to stop. He's never going to stop looking for you. And it looks like that amulet that Caleb had literally kept him from being able to track him with magic. I think that's why he was so married to keeping it. But we see that cow in her final kind of screw you to Caleb, she made sure to destroy it so that now he'll be able to be tracked by the Volstrucker much easier. And I don't know if he's going to be able to replace something like that. My guess is not an easy thing to replace. And that's why he was so desperate not to have that one destroyed. So yeah, now we know that that's going to be a new problem for him. And I think it's good that he's telling them the story now too, because sadly, as she also said, as the Volstrucker who died said, they are going to come after anybody he cares about, right? Like, they're going to go through as many people as they need to get to him again. And he's got to warn the group that if they continue to travel with him, that is going to be a very real thing that they may have to deal with, is these Volstruckers continuously. So that was Caleb's whole thing. That was very good. We see that a very dark part of him came out when he burned up that assassin, but I'm not sad about it because she did need to go. Like I said, he needs to actually deal with that darkness and temper it in some way. Otherwise, everything he's been through is going to be for naught, right? So speaking of naught, good segue. Not this episode. We found out she's got a nose, quite literally, for poisons, understanding poisons. She knows ways to treat them. We discovered that she used to work for an alchemist. That makes a lot of sense as to why she's so drawn, because remember how excited she got when she saw magic with Caleb? But anyway, she said she worked with him, he taught her some things, and then she took care of him. So lots of questions about that. I'm sure the time will come for us to understand that, but I felt like from the get-go of seeing her that Not felt something familiar with Caleb, and that's why she was so easily locked into being with him, working with him, and going with him, right? And so I'm thinking she's seeing a lot of whatever her old master had in Caleb, and the dynamic of their relationship feels very similar to her. But what I loved about this episode, like outside of seeing her care for Ford, which I brought up in the episode, she's actually a very her nature is very protective and very nurturing, despite the fact that she hisses and bites at people. But as I said, that is probably why she is so volatile on the outside, because that kind of nature, if you don't have really firm boundaries, people will take advantage of it and they will drain you if you're not careful. And I feel like that's happened to her more than once, and that's why she is self-medicating. But that's just, I have so many theories around that. But digressing, that was nice to see that side of her. But also very telling, her conversation with Bo, when Bo basically was trying to warn her, saying, hey, like you seem very attached to him. He's a problem. He may drag you into whatever he's into. Basically trying to give her some advice to maybe distance herself, if not leave him altogether. And then she's like, it's a father-daughter type dynamic I'm seeing here. And then Not says, oh, but you got it backwards. I'm taking care of him. He's my boy. He needs me to get him to where he needs to go. So everything she said in that conversation, I mean, there was mild truths in it, in that she does kind of keep Caleb tempered to a degree and is in her own way. But a lot of what she said, I'm taking at this point, is very much projection. And again, going back to whatever relationship she probably had with her former alchemist. But we'll have to find out about that more when that time comes. But very interesting. But that whole conversation, though, one thing I will say is that Not looked the most serious and locked in and grown up that she has since this whole thing started, when she talked about her relationship with Caleb. And I put that in quotes just because like I said, I think it's a lot of projection in that. But anyway, so that was very cool to see. Outside of that, Ford injured this episode. He didn't really have much to do, but he did heal up from the poison. It looks like the sea god didn't do much to help him, but I don't know. But we all know the sea god had the ability, I think, because I mean, if he was able to heal a deep stab wound and a drowning, I'm pretty sure he could handle some poison. But either way, he was down for most of the episode, and we see that he is definitely struggling with his captain's the last conversation he had with the captain. Cute conversation between between Molly and Jess, and basically just Molly saying at this point that he's just kind of sticking with the group because he's very interested to see where it goes. Like, he's got nothing left anymore, really. And he's like, this is just an interesting group of people. Like, I just want to see what's going down here. But he didn't talk too much about himself, which I thought was very telling once again. But he did say a very interesting line about how Jess is this wide-eyed but very powerful person who is who's wasting her time on a one-sided relationship with a god. So it's the very powerful part that caught me in that whole thing. But, you know, as far as a relationship with the Traveler, I'm going to let that go. But yeah, kind of a little hint that he's dropping that maybe he's sensing something about Jess that we have not yet seen. But I think that's very clear. Like, Jess has very much just been enjoying the ride so far, but I think there's a lot more there. And the same way we saw Not kind of lock in this episode, I'm fairly certain we're going to see that come from Jess at some point when the time comes for it. But is that everybody? I think that was pretty much everyone this episode. It very much was Caleb's episode, but they definitely left us some really good hints about some of the other characters in this one that were, you know, things to keep our eye out for in the near future. So yeah, great episode. Fire, if I do say so myself. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me in this kind of long commentary. Thanks for sticking through it if you did get to the end. If you did like it, please do show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.